what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode, and this episode of the K-Cube show. So basically what we used to do in our podcast show was we used to talk about one topic, but a podcast contains many topics. So this is going to be the main thing. We are going to talk about different stuff and lots of stuff basically. And this is going to be a big series. This is not a trailer. This is a podcast where I'm going to talk about different stuff. And in the next episode, we are going to be joined by the co-host of this show, Snow, and also my dear friend. Like both are my dear friends. And the second guest, the guest who will come on the podcast is United Nations officer, which is his social media name, because he likes like United Nations, and he knows more stuff about United Nations. And in the next episode we are going to talk about Ukraine versus Russia crisis, because it is a lot, it's a big problem going on in the world, and he knows like a lot about it, so we're gonna talk about it and give our opinions on it. So guys, let's start with the podcast. So in today's podcast we are gonna contain these topics, which is gonna be technology, Marvel, DC, basically DCEU, gaming, current affairs. Current affairs is gonna be just like, talk about Ukraine versus Russia a bit. Like, gonna tell you guys what we are gonna talk about in the next episode, and then we'll have the outro. Okay, now let's start the podcast. So, the first thing in tech which happened, and I actually missed to make a podcast, was the spring event of Apple, which was held on March 8th. Peak performance. The products were amazing. I actually loved them, and So the products which are there right now, and are the amazing products of Apple. So the lineup starts from the third generation of iPhone SE, which came with 5G and A15 Bionic chip. I think that it's an Apple product at an affordable range, and there are different phones in the market, but I'll probably buy iPhone SE, because Apple is known for the privacy and security, which is a good thing, and Apple is like making like the best phones in the world right now. If you know, in the September event of 2021 of Apple, they launched iPhone 13 Pro Max. The phone is so good. Everyone loves the phone because because of its performance, because of the A15 Bionic, because of 4G, because of Apple's security and stuff. And I think that the product is good, and the best thing is that it is at an affordable range, and it like iOS and Apple security is the main magic, so that is why it is basically bought by many people, it's the product, which is iPhone SE, is actually good, and if you want to buy it, please go buy it if you want to. But there are many phones in the market. You should actually check different phones on Amazon or something like that. So let's talk about the next product, which came with fifth generation iPad Air. It contains M1 chip and 5G. It's impressive, because it will be the best tablet in the range, like its price range, and also and it will be the most powerful, because it has M1 chip, which has a very powerful CPU and GPU core, and it's amazing. and it will be a very powerful device, and it will be among the best sellers because people like to work on their iPads. You know what? I just love the product a lot, and you know what? I guess the product is so amazing that people can work on the tablet. So this device can be used rather than a phone or computer, and I loved it. That's that. I just loved it. Okay, I just loved it. The next product, the best product of the event, which is M1 Ultra with double GPU and CPU of M1 Max, like M1 Max into two. It is the best, and the most powerful chip made by Apple Silicon, and I'm very excited for it. And now I guess we shouldn't talk about the chip right now because it had a very interesting and a very fun kind of product, which is gonna have that. It is Mac Studio. It will also, I guess, be the most powerful PC on earth. I guess because there are many gaming PCs also out there. I'm not sure about that, but it might be. So it will contain Apple Silicon's M1 Ultra, and this is so damn cool. I just love the product. I actually love it. And the Mac Studio display and the Mac Studio are so good. I just love them. That's what I said. I'm just telling you guys, if you are a developer or some kind of, those people will buy this. Like those kind of people will buy this this product because it is so powerful, and it will be used in game development of AAA games and stuff. So a thing that I've been hyping you all from over a month, and let's just talk about why I wasn't uploading for 1 month. Why I wasn't uploading a podcast or something, because I had my examinations for a month, so I wasn't uploading. So let's move on to the next topic, which I hyped up 1 month ago and I didn't upload, and now I'm gonna upload as a segment, as a subtopic of technology, which is going to be Apple versus Microsoft. A little like a very small business analysis. If you guys follow the podcast on Spotify or Google Podcast, if we have at least 5 likes, the hot thing that is there, if we have 5 hot things, then I'll make a separate video on Apple versus Microsoft business analysis. So let's talk about these companies. These American companies, which are Apple and Microsoft, dominate the intersecting world of technology. They have the biggest consumer access, and they just have the software, hardware, operating systems, mobile devices, advertising, applications, web browsers, etc., etc., etc. So these products, these companies, as of January 2022, like Apple, had a market cap of around $2.61 trillion, and Microsoft was a bit low, $2.17 trillion, and I wasn't sure at that time what was the but trillions of dollars, trillion, I can buy a whole country with that money, right? So let's talk about the Apple's business thing. So the Apple computers was founded by Steve Jobs, and he passed away from cancer in 2011. He was a great man. He did a lot of work, and during Steve Jobs was a fun fact. Steve Jobs was also fired in 1985, and he returned in 1997. Apple wouldn't revolutionized multiple sub industries. In 2001, the company released their iPod, a pocket-sized device which was like Spotify on a mobile device or something, that kind of. But it is just Spotify, but not free, which you have to buy, which would include over 1,000 songs. A few years later, Apple completely redefined mobile phones when the iPhones were released in 2007, which was a great thing because now there are many smartphones which I actually like. And after the death of the legend himself, Steve Jobs, he was replaced by Tim Cook, and Tim Cook is continuing the legacy of Steve Jobs. Let's talk about Microsoft. Microsoft is more into cloud and drives, for online storage, and it has Microsoft Office, which is like Word and Excel kind of stuff, which everyone uses. Every single person. If you ask someone, like suppose it's my friend, he'll use the presentation of a Word document for his work or something like that, or Excel. And that is how they capture the whole internet, the whole market, actually, not the internet, sorry. And the current CEO of Microsoft is Satya Nadella, and the ex-CEO of Microsoft was one of the richest people right now, and the richest, a billionaire, and the famous Bill Gates, as you all know him. So Bill Gates is very cool. Okay, we're not going to talk about Bill Gates, But my favorite thing about Microsoft is their Xbox, their gaming stuff, because I just go to play Xbox with my friend in his home. It's so cool, and that is the only thing why I like Microsoft. Like, there is Office and stuff too, but which I use, but I like Microsoft only because of Xbox. I have to use Microsoft Office because of work and stuff and like projects. But I like Apple because of their phones. I don't know. Their phones are so crazy. Their MacBooks, their laptops, their PCs, their etc. iPad, tablets, etc. It's just brilliant, I just like that. And I guess we should go on to the next topic, which is Marvel. So I missed a lot of stuff in Marvel in few days, but Marvel did some crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy shit that happened a few days ago, which was so cool. What happened? What happened? Miss Marvel trailer dropped. Moon Knight 2 trailer dropped. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer dropped. Leaks, rumors, So the first thing that we're gonna talk about is gonna be the Miss Marvel trailer, which just launched, I guess, yesterday or day after yesterday, day before today. It was so cool. The trailer. It wasn't that comic accurate, like her powers, her origin. But so let me tell you her origin. The character Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, a Pakistani American superhero. So basically, she got her powers by the mist. A mist which what's the mist name? Okay, I'm gonna read those comics again, and then I'm gonna break it down in another podcast. So Miss Marvel is a crazy character. She's a nerd like me, and she likes to make like fictional comics and stuff. She likes Captain Marvel a lot. Then comes Captain America, and then comes Iron Man. And that's actually cool, like you are just seeing a character or a superhero who is just like you, in their teenage, and you know, in the schools learning about stuff. Just me, just me right now. Okay, so the trailer was good. The background music, which was Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, one of my favorite artists, and the song was good. It just fit in perfectly. I just like that. Like the Moon Knight trailer had day and night, which just fit. I don't know how Marvel gets all of those music. And those remakes are so cool. I just like them. Those are super cool. And I guess this is it for Miss Marvel trailer. So no, it is not. I'll just tell you how she gets her power. She gets her power by a bangle or bracelet. I am not sure, but there is some comics in which those types of bangles or bracelets are used. I am not sure of which. I'll check that out for you guys, and I'll talk about it in the next podcast or next to next podcast. I'm not sure. But she's just a character, just like all of my all of my friends and people around me, and the people who like Marvel and stuff. She's just like that character in teenage. Even I am gonna go in my teenage. But okay, let's talk about Moon Knight. Moon Knight 2 trailer drop. Moon Knight is gonna be it's gonna be a crazy show, and some people were able to see 4 episodes of Moon Knight, and the reviews were the show is gonna be better. The show is gonna be the best Marvel TV show ever. Oscar Isaac acted better than Robert Downey Jr. If they're saying that, you know what? This is going to be the best Marvel TV show of all time, because Oscar Isaac is basically one of the best actors in the world, and even I'm a fan of him from Star Wars. What else? X-Men 2. He was Apocalypse in Age of Apocalypse, I guess. Okay, yeah. And I like the acting, and also Dune. I haven't watched the Dune movie till now because I'm reading the first book. And I'm gonna watch it after I read the book. I'm on the 210th page, but I'm reading the appendix. Okay, we are not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about Moon Knight. So it's gonna be a great show. I'm very excited for it, and you guys should watch the show when it'll premiere on 30th March. Then let's talk about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Oh my god, the trailer had Charles Xavier, Professor X. Oh my god, mutants are coming. Oh my god, all the cameos confirmed. I'm not sure if they're confirmed, but let me tell you some confirmed cameos. Some confirmed cameos are of Deadpool and Loki, Sylvie, and Mobius. So I cannot show you the proof for Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie, because I didn't take screenshots for them, but I have some proof for Deadpool in Multiverse of Madness, as I just searched on the web. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness cast for for a day, one day, and then in the cast there was Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh my god, what? And if anyone wants some proof, you can contact me. I'll just show you the screenshots. I'm really excited for it. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is DC. I used to criticize DC in my podcast because I didn't watch anything of DC, but I watched everything of DC now, and I like DC, I hated Justice League, but I saw Zack Snyder's Justice League. I haven't watched the Suicide Squad, and Peacemaker isn't available in India right now, so I cannot watch it. and I didn't see Suicide Squad 2. I have to watch. I haven't watched it, but I guess I'm not gonna watch it because I don't have time right now. So it, let's talk about DCU now. The Batman. I went to see the Batman with my friends in theaters. Just go and watch the movie. It's so good. It's so good. And the co-host who is gonna be in the show for every episode from second episode is Snow, and the guest who is coming in the second episode, United Nations officer, is they both are my friends, so I went to watch the movie with them, and it was so cool. It was so good. The VFX, action sequences were incredible. Cinematography was incredible. Matt Reeves, you did a very good job. Okay, it's so good. It is so damn good. And guys, you know what? I just bought some, equipment for the podcast, like a mic. I got a mic. Yes, this is the sound of the mic. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So that was a bit, humorous. Okay, now let's talk about the Batman. My initial reactions in the theaters were actually epic. I have a friend called Devil Panther. In this podcast, we are not gonna tell the real names of us. We are gonna use our social media names or our not so social media names or our pet names, and it's gonna be crazy. The podcast, this is gonna be crazy. The whole journey from the first episode of the K-Cube show, which comes under the K-Cube's pop culture, is gonna be crazy. And now let's talk about the Batman spoiler-free review. I'll give you some. I'm not gonna give any spoiler. So, the Riddler is a character who's murdering some people in the Gotham City, and the Batman, played by Robert Pattinson, is just trying to investigate the topic, and it's a journey of the detective Batman, the world's greatest detective, solving this crime. And it's just crazy. You're gonna all love it. It's just crazy. I just love the film. It was so I just loved it. It was so the Gotham City was comic accurate, because it was comic accurate, okay, and it was so good. I just loved it, and it was so good. Now, if we're talking about DC, let's talk about the delay in DC 2022 schedule, and I'm happy for that, because this year was gonna be DC's year, which is not, because Marvel has their projects, which is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So the slate of DC is being changed. So DC League of Super Pets and Black Adam will still debut in 2022. Both these films are delayed. So DC League of Super Pets was originally set to hit the theaters in May, but now it will in July 29. Meanwhile, Black Adam was gonna be released in July, but now it is gonna be released in October 2021. The Flash and The Flash and The Flash and the Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, both movies are moved from 2022 to 2023, so the Aquaman sequel will arrive on March 17, 2023, and The Flash will follow on June 23, 2023. So it's gonna be crazy. And another movie which is gonna come in 2022 is Shazam: Fury of Gods. Its release date moved up, and it was gonna release on June 23, 2023, but now it will on December 12, 2022. So this is the news of this was the delay in DC 2022 schedule. Now let's talk about gaming. So let's talk about Minecraft, because that's the biggest game which happened in 2020, and now it is one of the biggest games. And I played the game, but I stopped playing the game 1 month, not because of my exams. I don't know. I was getting bored of the same things happening. We used to make a server. We used to play on that. We used to make house. We used to make our own empire, and like empire in the sense we used to make our modern mansions and stuff. And then we used to beat the game, and then we used to beat the wither, and then it will just end, and then we make another server and do the same for 1 month. So I was getting bored, so I didn't play the game. But there are different games such as Bed Wars, Sky Wars, which are actually amazing, and you should actually try that out. And it is actually pretty amazing. I like that. And now let's talk more about Minecraft. So Minecraft had their update 1.18, which came, and we were expecting Warden in 1.18, which didn't came because of some delays, and it will come in 1.19, and with some snapshots of 1.19, it will, some people have even be the Warden, which is actually cool. And I'm excited for 1.19, which will contain frogs and new mobs and mangrove forests and stuff. But let's talk about Minecraft 1.18, because that was the update that happened. It's actually cool, and I just love the update. Now let's talk about what happened. So 1.18 is the Caves and Cliffs Part 2. It is a major update to the Java edition released in November 30, 2021. It is completely, amazing, with larger caves, taller mountains, new mountain biomes, new cave biomes, and flooded caves, which it is actually good. I just loved it. I played it once, okay? So don't get me wrong, okay? I played it once. I played Minecraft too, like for once, twice, or something like that. So now let's talk about 1.19. So Minecraft 1.19 was officially announced on October 2021, and it is also known as the Wild Update, and it is cool. So the first snapshots of 1.19 dropped on February 2022, and that's when I checked them. Minecraft 1.19 will contain new biomes such as the Deep Dark and Mangrove Swamp, with new mobs like the Warden, which I just mentioned earlier, and new world generation features. Ancient cities will spawn. Ancient cities will spawn in the Deep Dark, which is a new biome that will spawn underground. You can make clay or mud bricks thanks to the new mud block, which you can craft by mixing the soil with water. And this is for the gamers who play Minecraft. These will also contain some new mobs such as frogs and fireflies, and there are some mobs which was announced by the vote, which is gonna be Alley, which will be released with the 1.19, and it is so cool. So it will contain mangrove trees, and mangrove swamp biome. It will also contain boats with chests, and this was the update. So let's talk about Fortnite. Fortnite is very cool. I started playing it after I got my gaming laptop, because the game's cool. The game's cool. You should all try it out because it's free. If you have 16 GB of RAM in your computer, you can probably play it. And now the chapter 3 came, and its trailer, chapter 3 season 2 trailer came out. It was so good. I just loved it. And it was cool. It was cool. And it is gonna be like a cool event and stuff. With I guess it will contain Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness kind of themes, because after I saw the trailer, there was Doctor Strange and stuff, and it was cool. I liked it. And let's talk about the next gaming thing the next game that I play, which is Valorant, which many of you also might be playing. Valorant is actually a cool game which many people play. Even I used to play the game. I don't play currently, so please don't judge me that I just hate the game. I love the game, but because of my exams I didn't play. So it is a cool game. Let's talk about Valorant. So Valorant is a game made by Riot Games. It is a free-to-play first-person hero shooter game which is developed by the Riot Games, which I just said, for Microsoft Windows, which was first released under the codename Project A in October 2019. The game began a closed beta period with limited access on April 7, 2020, but followed by an official release of June 2, 2020. So, that was about the game. Now, the next game that I play is World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a cool game, okay? World of Tanks is a cool game, and many people play it. So let's talk about World of Tanks. World of Tanks is a massively multiplayer online game developed by the Belarusian company Wargaming, featuring 20th century era combat vehicle. It is built upon freemium business model where the game is free to play, but the participants also have the option of paying a fee for use of premium features. So that was for World of Tanks. Now let's talk about current affairs, which is going to be Ukraine versus Russia. So we are not going to talk about the whole crisis right now. We're going to talk about it in the next podcast with United Nations officer and co-host Snow. So let's talk about the impact on the gaming industry and the film industry, which is Hollywood. So Marvel, DC are removing the films from Russia, and many games are cancelled and cannot be played in Russia, and that's very sad for Russia. But it is just, I guess, the payment for what Russia is doing to the country. I guess that's gonna be it for the podcast. So in the next podcast, we are going to be joined by the co-host Snow and our guest United Nations officer, where we are going to talk more about Ukraine versus Russia crisis, gaming, comics, manga, anime, also about some trailers and stuff. And as this was the first episode of the KTube show, it will be of about 35 minutes, but the next podcast will probably be of 1 hour 30 minutes or something like that. It will be like a podcast. So thank you guys for hearing the podcast. If you haven't already, please do follow me on Spotify, Google Podcast, or on Anchor. If you haven't already, please do like the podcast. Thank you guys for hearing the podcast. Bye.
Oh, thank you.